Good goddamn fucking beautiful morning, human beings. Yeah, love and awareness. It is, yeah, it is another day. I am alive again, still. uh, it's still dark outside. I've lit my little stove. Yeah, I just want to share a little thing. Um, well, it's not such a little thing; it's a big thing, maybe. Um, yeah, um, yeah, it's about comparison. Comparison has two sides to it. Uh, One side, for example, I talked in a previous video about finding the root of things. When you expose the root of something to awareness, then you basically bring the root into the light. And to kill something, you expose the roots to the light, and the awareness is the light. So if you expose the root of a problem, for example, then you kill that problem, or the root of it. It's something I learned in meditation. Um, for example, so I want to talk about comparison. For example, jealousy. Say, for example, your woman goes off with another man, and you are possessed by jealousy. That can be, yeah, it can be described as a living hell. You're overtaken by jealousy, and there are many men on the planet uh, who have committed suicide because they were overwhelmed with jealousy. Um, and the root of jealousy is comparison. It's because you're comparing the other to you. So jealousy is not the root. The root of jealousy is comparison. And when you expose that, when you look within, and you keep looking within, and you find the root, you discover that the root of your suffering isn't actually jealousy, it's comparison. And they teach us at a young age to compare. School is competitive. You're always comparing. So this is the root, just for example. Now, the other side of comparison. So basically, um, you are the slave to your mind and feelings. That's why you're overwhelmed with jealousy, because you are the slave to that. Because you don't know why you don't know the root. So when you find the root, so that is so you're the slave to your thoughts and emotions. uh, so on the other side of that is to be the master of one's thoughts and feelings. And just for example, so then you can use comparison, rather than comparison using you. You can then use comparison. For example, uh, every morning I wake up. So not every morning, but say I wake up and it's cold, and I always think about, for example, now on the planet, what's happening in Palestine. There are hundreds of thousands of um, uh, mothers, fathers, children under the rubble, listening to their children dying, listening to the parents dying. Um, this is what I do. So I use the tool of comparison, because life, this here is fucking perfect and beautiful. It's fucking fan-fucking-tastic. And so many people that I meet, and I ask them, how are you? Or somebody say, how are you? And I say, I'm absolutely fucking excellent. I'm fantastic. And they would say something like, yeah, how are you? And they would say, oh, not so bad. You know what I mean? I always feel like saying, well, it could be so much worse. We could be, for example, listening to our children dying under the rubble. So comparison is a great tool. It brings you It can bring you to here and now. What the fuck is happening here and now? And what is happening here and now is absolutely incredible. I have electric, I have fire, I have coffee. It is perfect. The simple things is absolutely fucking perfect. So I just want to share about using the tools, because we basically we are, like I said, the slaves to our emotions and to our thoughts. And the reason for getting into meditation, deep into meditation, and I can only talk about Osho meditation because that's what happened in my life. It was only Osho meditations that I experienced, and then I became aware of many things, like finding the roots, and exposing the roots, and then slowly becoming the master of the emotions and thoughts. Prior to when I was 42 years old, I'd lived for 42 years the slave to my thoughts and emotions. And after meditation, I then slowly started to become the master of the thoughts and emotions that is going through this human being. And that is through awareness. There's only two paths to the truth. One is awareness and the other is self-love. There are only two paths. So anyway, not to digress, but I just want to share that about comparison, because it's such an important thing. Because when you're overtaken by jealousy, it's hell, and you're lost, and you're capable of fucking doing anything. As there are many fucking atrocities and murders and deaths that happen on the planet because of jealousy. And to find the root of that jealousy through meditation, through self-inquiry, through looking within, you then discover that it's actually comparison, and you expose that to the root. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, fantastic. This is a different way of another way of communicating on YouTube and sharing with anyone who sees this video. Beautiful, fantastic. If you can, give yourself a fucking love and a hug. And if you can't, find the root. Cool. Everything, subscribe, comment, all that bollocks. Ciao, beautiful human beings.